Raftery.
From Woodinville to Westlake, this is Cairo Radio 97.3 FM. News and talk, powered by the Pacific Northwest.
The Big Lead is brought to you by 3010 Weight Loss for Life.
The Dory Monson Show on Cairo Radio. This is The Big Lead.
Woo! I was just saying to Nicole, we got too much stuff today. I don't know how we're going to fit it all in a 3-hour show because this is a busy day. So we're coming to you from the Carter Subaru studio and streaming on Facebook Live. Let me get right to The Big Lead.
The Big Lead. Hey, how'd this get in here?
Well, you see, I would say, lead our show with local stories probably 95% of the time. It is a very rare occasion where we will lead with something national. But something has come to my attention this morning of such importance that I feel we need to break with tradition and lead with a national story. Because, you see, down in Manhattan Beach, California, they have a water treatment facility there. And there are a couple of guys who went to the city council meeting last night in Manhattan Beach, and they want to rename the water treatment plant. And I thought the case that they made was so compelling that I wanted to share it with you as we kick off the big show today. So here are the guys who want to rename the treatment plant in Manhattan Beach, California.
What up, Council? My name is Chad Kroger. First off, I love your city of Manhattan Beach. You have great bros. Council, what does it mean to be American? I used to think it meant eating fudgesicles and being tan. And in a lot of ways, I still do. But I think it also means fighting for the ones you love, which is why I'm here to fight for my first and greatest love, Britney Spears. She's going through pretty serious ennui right now, but she's helped me through major bummer. She pretty much guided me through puberty. She's so hot. I almost went to one of her concerts when I was 14, but my dad said no, you have to do math. Also, it's probably good that I didn't go because I didn't want to destroy what she and Justin Timberlake had. Whether she was stronger in the song Stronger, vulnerable and lucky, or risque and womanizer.
Sir, I don't know what bet you lost, but this is not within.
Okay, so one of the council members has had it, and he wants to cut this guy off, but the guy got to his point rather quickly right after that.
In the jurisdiction matter of the city of Manhattan Beach.
I promise it is. It's just at the end.
You need to get to it now.
Okay, great.
Thank you.
Well, basically, I'm trying to get her stoked again. So that's why I'm asking the city of Manhattan Beach to rename the water treatment center the Britney Spears Toxic Water Center after her hit song Toxic. I think that would be a really nice way to pay homage to her. Thank you.
What up, Council? I'm also deeply honored to be here.
This is the guy's partner who's backing up the initial request.
Chad asked me to sing the song Toxic to you because he figured some people might not know it or it might have slipped your memory. Baby, can't you see I'm calling? A guy like you should wear a warning. It's dangerous, I'm falling. There's no escape, I can't wait. I need a hit, baby, give me it. You're dangerous, I'm loving it. Too high, can't come down. Losing my head, spinning round and round. Do you feel me now? Oh, the taste of your lips, I'm on a ride. You're toxic, I'm slipping under with the taste of a poison paradise. I'm addicted to you, don't you know that you're toxic? Stay strong, Brittany. Thank you guys so much.
And thank you.
So I think you can tell why we needed to break with tradition. And not do a local story today to lead the show. But now I will get us back on track because we do have some other local news to talk about as we continue with the big lead.
The Big Lead. Top story.
So Jay Inslee, his faltering presidential campaign, he's still stuck down at 1%. There is a very good chance that Jay Inslee, they're only going to allow 20 candidates in the Democratic debates. What a nightmare. Can you imagine 20 candidates? And they say they're going to split it and do 10 one night and 10 the next night, but that's still a nightmare. A debate with 10 people, and all of them are going to try to come up with that one little 10-second soundbite that everyone's going to talk about the next day. So it's just going to be a bunch of nonsense. But there are 21 Democrat candidates right now. Only 20 are going to be in the debates. And Jay Inslee is one of the guys on the bubble. He may not even make the debate stage, but he's still out there trying. Bless his heart. Jay Inslee was on CNN. This was just a little bit ago today. And let me just say, the problem with Jay Inslee, I've talked about this right from the start of his campaign. The more he talks, the less people don't dislike him. They are just bored with him, and they realize that, I'm sorry to be so blunt, they realize that he's not that bright a guy. And he went to Stanford for 1 year and then claims he didn't want to keep paying for it. So then he got his law degree at, where was it, Whitworth. I mean, got a decent school, but it's not Stanford. And so the more he talks, the more bored people get, the more people understand that he's probably not sharp enough to lead the country. So he kept talking about his climate scam, trillions and trillions of dollars. And so he just went on CNN to try to make a pitch again.
How are you going to pay for it?
Well, actually, there's a little different, more important question is, how much is it going to cost us if we take no action?
Okay, by the way, horrible strategy on his part. When a reporter asks a very simple, direct, and important question, how are you going to pay for it? And he says, well, the more important question. So what he's doing is telling the interviewer who just asked a very relevant, important question because you cannot pay for it. And then he says, hey, your question's stupid. And Jay Inslee, again, bless his heart, but he has no room to call other people stupid. And so, but he tried to take the legitimate question in a different direction.
How much is it going to cost us in cities like Paradise, California, burned to the ground that I visited? I met a woman named Marsha Moss who lost everything she owned in the fire in Seminole Springs. How much is it going to cost us in the floods today in the Midwest, where I believe it's Davenport underwater? I went to Hamburg, Iowa. The farmers had lost all their grain.
You went to where?
Iowa.
Iowa? You went to Iowa, where he believes the farmers lost all their grain.
How much is it going to cost Miami to completely restructure their Main Street, where they have to build it up? Otherwise, the fish are swimming down Main Street.
So he's not answering the question. You don't have the money. This costs way too much. We don't have trillions of dollars. AOC's Green New Deal, $93 trillion, more than all of the liquid assets on the planet. This is just a bunch of fantasy, fairy tale nonsense that he and the others are trying to get away with at a time when our economy just couldn't possibly be better. And, it's frustrating to listen to him.
You broke down the cost, you believe, from climate change, but I didn't hear you say what your plan is to actually pay for it.
Our plan is to require industries to use equity, mostly private equity, to make the investments in new technology that we know can reduce costs over time.
Woo.
Look, when you put a solar panel on...
Oh, my goodness. I mean, it's just boring as can be and unintelligent as can be. He's got no chance because nobody knows who he is nationally, and the only opportunities that he gets every single time he talks, he hurts himself.
How do you plan to reach that goal, and what do you plan to do with the hundreds of millions of cars already on the road?
People who have cars on the road are going to continue to drive them. No one's going to have their car taken away from them. You will have freedom for your cars.
Wow, that's quite a commitment. They're not going to take our cars away. Wow. Well, I applaud him for that. No confiscation of cars. How about all those people who work in the coal industry, which is getting cleaner and cleaner every year, by the way?
Are you going to eliminate all coal jobs?
Look, here's what we know about coal. The people in the coal industry, they have been great Americans. They built the industrial base of this nation. But we know over the next several decades, we need a new future for them. We need to embrace them.
He will not answer any questions that are asked. He just won't.
Well, this is my plan. It is ambitious, but it is my plan. And that plan allows a lot of executive action, which today is allowed under the law.
So in other words, if you make him president, he will impose this insanity without going through any kind of legislative process. Wow. I mean, look, I think it's good that he's still out there because Jay Inslee is kind of the mainstream Democrat. And the more people hear him, the more because those are Democrat Party platform planks that he's talking about. And the more people hear from his party, the more they understand what a disaster his party is. And like I said, he may not even make the debates at this rate.
How close are you to the 65,000 donor threshold?
We're close enough to have confidence we're going to get there, but not
what does
close
that
enough
mean?
where
What
I'm
does
gonna
close
stop
enough
asking
mean?
people. We've got a couple 10,000. We need more, but we are on a pace to get there. I do hope people, if they want climate change on the debate stage, you can go to jayensley.com.
Oh, you know.
Well, he asks people right after that. He says, donate $1. Just $1.
We play the rest of it.
I'm sending $1.
Yeah, there we go. Send in $1. Come on. It'll help. Save the planet. Spend $1. What about, can you beat Donald Trump, Jay?
No, I'm not concerned because I make it a daily habit of beating Donald Trump. We've sued him and beat him 21 times in court. We won about 40 seats in the House of Representatives, which rejected his boneheaded chaos and narcissism and divisiveness and lack of tolerance.
It's just... Or Jay Inslee call other people boneheaded. Talk about a lack of self-awareness, man. That's pretty good. And I don't know. It's just keep at it, Jay. You just keep on keeping on, brother. That's what I say.
Respectfully, Governor, you didn't answer the question about the economy specifically. Do you disagree the economy is doing well under President Trump?
Well, look, some people are making out like bandits. We have more billionaires than we can shake a stick at in the United States.
He's still pulling out the Mayberry references. Down at the old swimming hole, you can shake a stick at all the dams or all the millionaires. And here's the problem for him and for all of the socialists who are running for president. And as I said, the mainstream Democrat Party now has moved socialist. And so all of this is happening while our economy is doing fantastically well. Up next in The Big Lead.
The Big Lead, top trending.
Donald Trump. I know that there are people who have this just obsessive hatred for the man, but by any objective, measurable standard, he is starting to emerge as a great president. Oh, I love saying that. I love knowing what's happening in the minds of the left when I say stuff like that, but it's true. As long as our country stays safe and our economy is strong, those are the two things that I count on from a president. And let's just look at the news today. While Jay Inslee says he wants to completely remake our economy, that our economy, Bernie Sanders, we need socialism because our economy is horrible. You look at the numbers, my goodness gracious. We have, in April, the unemployment rate is now the lowest that it has been in 50 years. 1969 was the last time we had an unemployment rate as low as 3.6%. But that's what it is in America today. For minorities, the unemployment rate numbers are the best ever for Asians. You know, the Asian unemployment rate in America is just 2.2%. That's absolutely amazing. But it's not just the unemployment rate. Wages are at an all-time high in America. The average American worker is making over median. I mean, it's not just average. It's more relevant than that. The median American worker is making $27.77 an hour. Because when you have more people working than looking for jobs, then wages go up. Because companies have to raise their wages. That's what low unemployment does. So you have people making more money than ever before. You have more people working than ever before. The stock market is up 200 points today. It's at 26,505, about, 27 and a half minutes from the close, 37 and a half minutes from the close. Stock market's up 200 points, 26,504. Trump's approval rating in the Rasmussen that came out today is 50%. And I don't know what I'm missing here, because I know there are a lot of people who just despise the president and talk about how we've got to save America. But, you know, you've driven ISIS out of Syria. We've done great things with dealing with terror the last couple of years. Barack Obama said that middle-class manufacturing jobs, they are gone forever. And Trump ridiculed him for saying that. And then Trump went out and proved that he's gotten a lot of those jobs back. So we have wages highest ever, unemployment lowest in 50 years. The stock market's doing great. Consumer confidence is doing great. How does Jay Inslee, how do Bernie Sanders, Elizabeth Warren, all the rest, Biden, and they say, yeah, we got to go in a different direction. And can you imagine if the mainstream media talked about the good stuff 1/10 as much as they talk about the Stormy Daniels or whatever other nonsense they're doing week after week? The approval would be at 70, 80%. So that's what Inslee and all the rest are running against right now. And I think the American people are going to come to their senses that the economy is one of the things the president has great influence on, and our economy is fantastic right now. And that is your big lead for today.
The Big Lead on Cairo Radio.
I'm going to check the news for you, and then I've got a couple of amazing stories. My colleague Jason Rance has caught King County prosecutor Dan Satterberg in an absolute flat-out lie. He's got it in writing, the 180-degree contradiction from Satterberg's office. Jason will join us, tell you and me about that next here on The Dori Monson Show.
This hour